There you go.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Press Box with your hosts, Scott Fitzgerald and Sean Clemens.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Press Box. I am here, Trader Clem, with my co-host, Scott, Run the Hurry Up on Sleeper. How you doing today, buddy? How was your week?
Week's been good. Getting ready for the big game on Sunday.
I know. Are you excited?
Yeah, I mean it's. I know you're not. I know you're not excited. I mean, I guess I am. I mean, Super Bowl is always good. It's a good event. Everyone looks forward to it every year. I wanted to see a few different teams get in there, but I think it'll still be a good Super Bowl.
I agree. I mean, it'll be a good Super Bowl because I think the Seahawks are going to win it, and as long as the Patriots don't walk away with another trophy, I'll be okay. Otherwise, I don't know, man. With probably a lot of alcohol, just whatever it takes, right, to black out and forget.
All right. Hey, Sean, real quick, what is your Super Bowl go-to food?
Super Bowl go-to food?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it depends on who's playing in the Super Bowl. A Super Bowl like this with the Patriots in there, it's probably going to be anything that includes alcohol.
So it's going to be a liquid lunch / dinner.
Exactly. Anything liquid with alcoholic content is all I'm going to be looking for.
All right. Well,
but if the Seahawks win, I'm a huge fan of pumpkin pie, and I feel like if somebody brings a pumpkin pie to a Super Bowl party, I'm like all over it because I always end up eating so much on Thanksgiving that I don't get the pumpkin pie that I wanted. And it seems like this is my last opportunity to get some pumpkin pie before it's like I got to wait until next Thanksgiving. So if somebody ends up bringing a pumpkin pie to the Super Bowl party, wink, wink, hint, hint, I will be very, very happy.
Well, that is very weird. You'll probably be eating it by yourself. And so what I like is I'm going to give shout out to my beautiful wife, Rowena. She makes the best wings in the world. And I requested the wings and some nachos. So we're going to be pounding some of that.
I mean, that's not bad either, right? Buffalo fan, right? Got to be a wing guy too. So I'll never say no to a good set of wings. Yeah. Do you ranch or blue cheese is the question, Scott?
No, she makes this like garlic hot sauce.
No. I'm talking about your dip, but what do you dip your wings in?
I don't dip in anything. She puts like this garlic like hot sauce on it. And that's all I eat it with.
Okay, so let's put your wife's wings aside and let's talk about just a wing you're getting at like B-dub or something. Dude, ranch or blue cheese?
Ranch.
All right. That's all for us today, folks.
Blue cheese is gross, man. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Are you kidding me, son? Are you kidding me? Like that hurts, dude. I know we sit on opposite sides of the political fence. There's a lot of things that we don't agree on, but this one hurts my heart. For you to,
isn't blue cheese like isn't that like rotten? Isn't that rotten cheese? Isn't that what blue cheese is? Rotten cheese.
Hey, it's rotten so good if that's the case, because I love me some good blue cheese, especially that nice chunky blue cheese that you know is homemade. I mean, that is the best. I'm telling you, I everybody talks about it, but my favorite place obviously is Bar Bill in Buffalo when I went for wings there, and their blue cheese was just as good as the wings, in my opinion. So I am always about a good blue cheese on my wings. And anybody who says they will like ranch, to me, it's just something's wrong with you, man.
I don't know. That blue cheese looks like curdled milk to me. So enjoy that.
I know, right? It's kind of funny though. Somebody who likes blue cheese talking about how something's wrong with somebody who likes ranch, but. Oh man. So anyways, before we move into anything football related, I just on a personal note want to say happy anniversary to my parents. This is their I think I'm gonna hopefully I don't get this wrong and say their 47th wedding anniversary. So congratulations, mom and dad. I know that big 50 is around the corner, and I'm probably gonna have to throw you a nice big party for it. So don't worry, we'll take care of that between me and my brothers. We'll make sure we get something set up. But congratulations. And not only is it my parents' anniversary, it is also, on a sad note, the first birthday that my grandmother's not here with us for. So I'd like to say happy heavenly birthday to my grandma. Miss ya, and we love you. So anyway, let's talk about football before I start losing it.
Let's do a roll call real quick. I mean, we just got a couple people that popped in so far. We got Cyborg, who's always coming in our chat. What's up, Cyborg? And then Shadows. We got Shadows. He's from the DGen Fantasy Show. He's a big contributor out there in the chat. What is up, brother?
Right. I know we're a football show, but we definitely need to talk about this real quick. Harden to the Cavs. That to me is unbelievable, right? Shadow is also a Clipper fan, by the way. So me and him have that in common. And we were both all excited when we heard about this Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm gonna butcher his name if I try to say it, so I'll just call him Giannis. But this whole like potential trade for him and all that, and of course the first one we want is for him to come to the Clippers, team up with Harden, make us a potential super squad, yada yada yada. And then this news drops today. So I know you're not a basketball guy, Scott, but like if you're a fan of your team and like this opportunity comes along where you could trade to make your team like a potential contender, and instead you decide to just trade away one of your main pieces, like how would you feel as a fan at this point? Like, would you just be like basically annoyed like I am, and like I'm assuming Shadows is?
Well, I mean, so what did they get in return? I mean, did they get like a Herschel Walker deal in return, or
no? They got Shadows. Let us know real quick the player's name. I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head. So they're getting that in a second rounder, I believe, is what they got. So
I don't know the trade. I don't know the trade values in basketball, but like I'm assuming. So Harden's a star player. I'm assuming. So like, football analogy. Yeah. If you're trading an elite player, and Harden's older though, isn't he? He's not like a young player, right?
No. Harden is, he's probably got a few more years left, but he's definitely not young. Okay, he's maybe in his like mid to late 30s, I'm assuming.
Okay, so he's
more. I'll take a stab, say 37.
So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna trade a guy that's like in the twilight of his career, and you can get anything
second rounder in Garland.
Back in
you did say Garland. That's right. I didn't even. Now I look back at the other comment, Dirt Eater.
Okay. So I mean, if that's a good deal, I mean, I guess we'll take it. But in general, if you're gonna trade an elite player, I would obviously expect like a Herschel Walker deal in return. For a player, like
unless they're setting themselves up to make a move for Giannis still, then. But now I feel like you got to fill another hole as well if you're gonna do that. So I don't know if that's even in the cards at this point, or if they're maybe even going the other direction and just trying to prepare for another season. I don't know, but it's definitely a frustrating situation as a Clipper fan, especially since I just watched my Bills get destroyed and knocked out of the NFL playoffs and all that. And like now you're just right on the heels of that. It's like, geez Louise. But yeah, thanks, Asa. Yeah, mom, dad will probably love that. That's my girl guys saying happy anniversary to my parents. So
I mean, I should probably start watching basketball. And the Pistons, I guess, are doing really good. Cade Cunningham's like one of the top players in the league, so maybe I should start watching some Pistons.
I mean, legit, bro. Like you're literally what? Well, not right now, but normally you're around the corner from the Pistons. So
yeah, like, I mean, I used to watch the Pistons back in the Bad Boys days. In the Bad Boys days, I mean, they were fun to watch because
thing is used to watch. All right, you're either a fan or you're not, bro.
Well, no, I mean, when I was younger. When I got older, I kind of
I talk all that shit. I barely watched basketball too. I'm just teasing you.
Yeah. So.
Oh wow. Let's see what this is. Chicago, Minnesota, Detroit have agreed to a multi-team deal that sends Jaden Ivey, Mike Conley Jr. Oh, I like him to the Bulls, and Kevin Huerter. I hope I said that right. And Dario Saric to the Pistons. Look at that.
Wow. Sarge? Well, the only person I know in that deal is Jaden Ivey. Great. Was he Purdue?
Oh, they get his first round pick too in that.
Ex Purdue great Jaden Ivey. I remember him. I'm more into college basketball. I love college basketball, especially during the conference tournaments, the March Madness. I mean, it gets really good. Yeah. And my Wolverines are number 2 now in the country.
Come on, bro. I grew up in Vegas in the mid '90s, dude. I know all about what it's like to have a hot basketball team.
Yeah, you guys had him for what?
The Shark, baby. Come on now. Larry Johnson.
You guys had what? Like 1 year, like one good year.
What? Are you fucking kidding
me,
bro?
2.
One good year. We had like a solid good like 3-year run right there where we were pretty much. We should have won more than one chip in that run. But no, man, the starting squad in that team was just unbelievably good, dude. And granted, they were probably mafia paid, but that's a whole other story. But they definitely were a team to reckon with. And the fact that they lost that one to Duke was just a travesty. But either way, we don't need to get into that. That's not what we're here to talk about today. But yeah, that's definitely something that I appreciate is that March Madness fever. It's a lot of fun. Speaking of March Madness, we have a bracket coming up that Cyborg is running that you guys need to get a part of. Last year, it was nearly the 10,000 mark. We think it's going to get there this year without a problem. So definitely get into Cyborg's Discord if you haven't already. Jump into ours. We'll get you there either way. We'll put it in the description for you guys too on this so that you guys can get in there and see it that way as well. But yeah, definitely do it. If you haven't done it before, it's a lot of fun. And what else are we doing right now is fantasy heads in the middle of March, but March Madness, right?
Exactly. No, it's going to be awesome. Cyborg does a great job with the payouts. He updates it every week, so everyone knows where they're at. It's on the Sleeper platform, so it's pretty easy. So, yeah, oh God.
Shadows, the reason I'm laughing so hard, bro, is because we literally just said that the other day when we were all on a meeting together with the D-Gen boys, and him and Bri, like they're like little peas in a pod, the two of them. So it would be fun to watch the two of them go on a college basketball show for sure.
Well, his Miami of Ohio, Maction, they're I think they won tonight. If I remember right, I think they're still undefeated. Right? Miami of Ohio, yep. I think they're called the Red Hawks, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, I mean, those guys know what they're talking about when it comes to those obscure squads, man. I mean, they should do a whole segment on obscure squads, in my opinion, because they've got that down pretty good as far as their betting is concerned. Anyway, I think they're sitting above 70% or something with all those crazy under 4A schools or whatever it is that they bet.
Yeah, so check those guys out on the weekends. They're podcasting Tuesday and Sundays now. The D-Gen boys, you can find them on the YouTube. Good stuff.
Yep, absolutely. But let's move into what we were here to talk about today. So we got a couple things to go over, but we're going to start with our hot off the press like we always do with our first down. And we're just going to talk a little coaches real quick because that's pretty much the only real news going on right now, with the exception of some of these meetings and some of the talk about AI involved in refereeing. And the one thing that I did hear about the refereeing that I liked was the potential of New York can actually throw a flag on an egregious penalty that was not called on the field now, moving into next season. That's like something I don't know if it's for sure, but it was brought up by Goodell. So that's pretty interesting because that's been needing to happen for a while. But other than that, head coaches are really all we got to talk about right now. And these jobs, everyone's filled now. Everybody has their coach. We all know who's doing what next season for who. They're filling some coordinator roles and some position coaching roles, but for the most part, everything's kind of set as far as what's going to happen for 2026. So let's pull up our list of coaches and just kind of run through real quick. And I just want to ask you, we're not going to list them all off or read them all off, but let's just kind of pinpoint a few here or there. I want to ask you, Scott, out of all these coaching hires, who is your absolute favorite? Who hit the nail on the head, got it perfectly right, and did exactly what they needed to do for the team that they have?
I really like the Clint Kubiak hire. He's got the number 1 pick in the draft. You're going to go get the Heisman Trophy winner, bring him into Vegas. He's got the Brockness monster to throw to. He's got a young back in Janty. I really like this hire. Big fan. I'm sure you were probably hoping he was going to the Bills. But I really like that hire a lot. One other one I kind of like is I do like John Harbaugh going to the Giants. I think that's gonna arrow up for Jackson Dart. And
Scott, I don't remember telling you that you get to pick 2.
I wanted to pick 2.
I'm sure don't get to take mine.
You wanted to take that one?
Yeah, that was mine. You can't just go in there and pick a second one
sorry,
and then take my guy like that. Come on, dude. Jeez Louise, I said, who is the guy, not the guys?
Oh, God. Well, you can still talk. You can still talk
the
about
two Utes.
You can still talk about
I know. But John Harbaugh is definitely my favorite hire. So I agree with everything that you started saying before I interrupted you and think, all those good things. John Harbaugh fits what they have there. I think Jackson Dart and John Harbaugh together are going to be a really good marriage. I feel like that's going to work out real well for them. And we know somebody's going to be real happy over the D-Gen boys, looking like Tom Coughlin's grandson today with his New York Giants sweater on. So, Rocky's probably real happy to hear us say that. But beyond that, Shadows is talking about the Cardinals hire, which I do agree is a pretty sneakily good hire for them, considering the fact that they were kind of that one franchise that everybody was a little scared to even consider. Their whole quarterback situation's up in the air. They got a lot of money invested in one of them. There's like kind of like a whole roster reset needing to happen over there for the most part. So that job scared away a few people. And for them to actually end up snagging one of the LaFleur brothers, granted, it's probably the least, exciting one on the totem pole, but it's still a good LaFleur brother, and they've all proven they've done well in the league. So I wouldn't have any concerns that he's not going to know how to coach. One way or the other, the kid's going to come in there and do something. So I'm excited about that one too, man. I think that's a good pick, and beyond that though, I really wasn't all that impressed with too many of the other hires. I know
right,
you
then go ahead and I'll let you go first. Go ahead and pick the one hire you think is disgusting.
Oh, it's easy. That's a no-brainer. That's a Mike McCarthy all day. Like that is by far the worst. I mean, you might be able to get me, if you really broke it down, you might be able to get me to lean maybe a little Todd Monken potentially. But like other than that, like I don't think anybody else is even close. I think Mike McCarthy was by far the worst hire of any of them, and I have no idea why that guy was even considered. I really don't. I thought he was done in the NFL by this point. I really assumed that name wasn't going to come back up again at any point, at least as a head coach anyway. But here we are, and not only is he a head coach, but he's like the only fourth one in the franchise, so the odds of him getting let go anytime soon are probably slim, which means we're going to be hearing that name for a while longer. I just don't understand it. I really don't. Is that the same one you had? I'm not going to go stealing yours, am I?
No, he was like second, but I just don't understand. Now I'm not sure. Do we have the offensive coordinator yet for the Titans?
The Titans offensive coordinator, it's Brian DeBall. Remember we talked about last week.
Brian DeBall. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure if I really like the Robert Saleh hire, especially with the young Cam Ward. I don't know. I'm not really crazy about that hire, to be honest with you.
So here's where I feel about Robert Saleh. I'm glad you brought him up because I do like Robert Saleh. My thing with Robert Saleh is that I think he got kind of a bum rap in New York. New York is such a tire fire, dude. Like almost anybody who goes there is never going to have an opportunity to win. It's nearly impossible unless you can come in there like a Bill Belichick type and then just be like, look, I'm doing everything and you need to just keep your Woody Johnson butt in your seat and stay out of my way. Then I don't think that there's ever a chance until Woody Johnson either sells him, gives him to his kid to control, or unfortunately passes on. Are we going to get any kind of a competent team in New York? I think the Jets are basically stuck in limbo until something changes because the way he manages and he runs things there, he does not allow a coach to be successful. Robert, I think, fell under that. But if you look at the way he coached that team up, their defense was really solid for a good while during his tenure there. And they were actually expected to be a dang good team, which is why they brought Aaron in the first place, because they were one quarterback away, right? Now, I mean, Aaron is definitely not the guy to bring in that situation that they were in because that their locker room so volatile anyway. They needed like a better presence than him, in my opinion. But he was the option that was out there that they could get, so they got him. It didn't work out. He left. Robert ended up getting, sent down the road because of that. And then he went back to the 49ers, did well for them for the most part with what they were dealing with the injuries and everything else, and then earned a second chance. I think that's going to be a really good team moving forward. Maybe not this year, but the following, you'll start to see a turnaround. So
yeah,
that's just my
possibly.
opinion.
I don't know. I'm just not crazy about it. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, the Cyborg's talking about Kubiak's name you hadn't heard in a while. That's true, right? It's it's these nepo babies, man, in the NFL. Like you talk about it in acting, and you think sometimes it's true, sometimes in acting. Like these people definitely don't deserve to have the opportunity. They're not like the girl from Stranger Things who actually is extremely talented and has two great talented parents in acting. That most of them kind of stink for the most part, but when it comes to football coaching, it seems like, I mean, these nepo babies, dude, are just like killing it. Like they're coming out like their parents were when they were done coaching, but they're doing it in the beginning of their coaching career, like right away. It's like they learned everything that their parents learned in theirs, and then just came back and incorporated that right into their style, and then just moved right on into the top tier. It's just insane, man. I mean, I'm stoked if I'm the Raiders right now getting a guy like Kubiak.
Yeah, and I want to look out. Keep an eye on Jesse Minter too. I mean, this one goes. I know a little bit about him. Back at he won a national championship with Michigan, running that defense. Went and coached under Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers. Ran a good defense there, and now he goes and gets another really good defense in the Ravens. I know they weren't really that great last year on defense, but they do have the players. And so it'd be interesting to see how that team recovers with him. He's a good young mind, and interested to see how he does with that defense.
Yeah, I agree. And another sneaky good hire I thought was the Kevin Stefanski hire. I felt so bad for being stuck in that situation that he was in Cleveland for so long. I think that now that he's got a really solid squad to work with, I think you're going to see some good things out of them, as long as their quarterback play can be.
It's the quarterback.
Okay.
It's the quarterback.
But
it's what are you going to do with Penix? I mean, it's all.
Hey, we know Atlanta's not shy, man. If Atlanta likes a quarterback in the draft this year, don't be shocked if they don't make another move again to go get him. Don't be shocked.
I know this really isn't a quarterback draft.
I know it isn't, but that they're not in a position to make that move in a quarterback draft because they won't be able to get that high after what they did to get Penix. They're going to have to reload basically, and they can't get into the top 5 for that, in my opinion. But you never know. I mean, I'm definitely not a cap specialist, and I'm sure that they could work the numbers to figure out a way, maybe trade a player or two in the deal. I don't know. But that's Arthur Blank style, baby. That man goes for broke every time. Love it. I love his style. He goes for broke all the time, so I wouldn't be shocked at all. All right. Yeah. So anybody else you want to chat about real quick? I mean, obviously Joe Brady situation. I'm not going to go crazy on that because we've already kind of talked a little bit about that. So we don't have to talk about that. And then, the one that we didn't even talk about because half the time we're like, who is the Jeff Hafley hire for the Dolphins? I think that was kind of weird and just seems out of place. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't think well by any means. I think that was literally like oh crap, that John didn't come here like I thought he would. Now,
yeah, exactly.
So I mean, if I was him, I probably would have just went back to Mike and said, "Hey, buddy, you want to just come back for cheaper?"
That team's in shambles right now.
Oh yeah, it's same thing as what's going on in the Jets. Like I don't think either one of those organizations will go anywhere under their ownership that they currently have. But that's basically the way it works with these coaches that are moving in. Everybody else is sticking around. The only other real major change in the coaching cycles that's not head coach related that makes, I think, a little bit of difference. Well, I shouldn't say a little, probably a lot, is the Eric Bieniemy hire for the Kansas City. Him being so understanding of that offense, what those players can do, what Patrick can do. I mean, it's going to be. It wouldn't surprise me if we don't start to see a resurgence in that offensive scheme with Bieniemy back in Cincinnati, or in Kansas City, or should we say Kansas City, Kansas, right? Not Kansas City,
yeah. That's weird how they're gonna possibly cross borders, huh?
Yeah, that's insane to think about it. They're still the Kansas City Chiefs, but they're the Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs, not the Kansas City, Missouri Chiefs.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, as far as the Ravens next year shadows, I think they'll have obviously have a better season, I think, under the new head coach.
I like Jesse Minter. I always worry about defensive head coaches because of what I just sat through. I mean, I think I got a little PTSD from Sean McDermott right now, but that's the only thing is I think if you're going to replace a head coach at this point, when you have a quarterback like Lamar, who's got a good maybe 3-4 years left in him before he starts to really fade, I would do exactly like what the Bills tried to do and at least get an offensive guy that can stay with the same system for the remainder of his prime. So that's my thought, though. But I do like Jesse Minter a lot, so I don't want to say that's a bad hire at all because I think he's a great coach.
No.
So, so let's roll into our next down. We're going to talk about today on Second Down, guys, is our website launch. Dun, 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 dun. Sudden Death Fantasy Sports website is now available. It is out on sdfantasysports.com, as you can see on the screen, right down here, kind of in this area right here. sdfantasysports.com. Please go check it out, guys. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up for you guys here so you can kind of get a little preview of it, and I can run you guys through what our website's going to look like here. It's pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know about you, Scotty, but I think it's pretty dang cool. So this is our games page, guys, and this is where we're starting here for you guys because when you go to the homepage here, I'll show you guys in a second the homepage, but I'm navigating you to the games page because the games page is where we're going to talk about the best ball game that's going on right now. And it also gives you a chance to kind of see the website in the process and see how this is going to work for you guys throughout the season. So those of you that are currently in the leagues or want to join the leagues, definitely pay attention here. This is going to be your home for all your information throughout the season on your leaderboards and everything you need to know. So if you scroll through here, we got a picture of our nice bracket. This is going to be, this is all the settings. I'm not going to read through it because we did this before. We'll do it later here in a second when we talk about the game. But this is the bracket for that game. These are the settings for that game. And then below here are the leaderboards for that game. So on this here is where you're going to have our leaderboard bracket. As you'll know, this is $1,000 leaderboard coming up for these best ball games that are only $5 buy-ins. So it's a really awesome setup and really no rake for any of this, guys. So if you are the top scorer after week 13, you are getting paid just like you would in a normal fantasy league. $1,000 is a little extra coming out of the sudden death fantasy pocket. So this is our leaderboard for the bracket, for the kickoff bracket. And then this is our actual bracket. So as we get to the point where they're ready to install those players, this will be where you can find how they do as they work their way through with the payouts per round in each of the brackets listed. So you know exactly what you're winning as you make your way to that portion of the bracket. And this is our second bracket that's going to start after the NFL draft, and it's leaderboard and bracket right here as well for you guys. We're going to be consistently adding the league links in here as well for you guys. We've been soft launching our leagues on our actual Sleeper app so far. After the show today, we're going to release our final 4 of our first 10 games, our Alpha League games. As soon as those are fully released, we're going to give that a few days, and then we're going to go ahead and add that to this post right here for you guys. So as you move forward, if you ever want to jump in another league and you're not in the hub, or it's easier for you to get on the website, you'll have the opportunity to jump in any of the leagues that are currently filling through this right here on the website. So I'm really excited about this site, guys. It's a lot of fun. Beyond that, we're going to have a lot more things in here. We're going to add more games through the actual games page here. We have a collaborator page, which is going to be a lot of our potential friends like the DGen Fantasy guys are going to have a section where they can put some information, some links to their information as well for you guys. So you guys have some resources available that stretch beyond the Grimkin and the sudden death fantasy world. We're going to have some articles and some news in here for you guys. Whenever there's something important, we'll throw in an article. Or a lot of the stuff that we're going to put in there is going to be the trade stuff that I'm doing for you guys to kind of help coach people through trading if they need some help with that. There's going to be a lot of articles and things written on that in there, as well as some tidbits and some nice little nuggies from Scott, because Scott really loves writing articles and he does a great job with it. So our podcasts are listed there. House of Grim will be a membership that's coming up for you guys down the road. We'll talk about that when the time comes. And then obviously, the homepage is the homepage. As you could tell, you scroll here and you can kind of roll your way through the homepage. Everything is listed here for our shows. All the information you guys need is going to be here on the website. And, Scotty, I don't know about you, man, but I am just really, really excited to be launching this website. It's something we've been working on so much on the back end, and it is finally at the point. We literally just launched the last update today from the dev team. And now it's going to be me and you working on it tomorrow morning throughout the day and getting the last few things updated on the post for the games and for some of the articles and stuff like that. And then this website is ready, baby. Are you that excited about it, man? Because to me, it's just nice to have this thing ready and done, and we can move forward to the next big thing, which is getting these games going and drafting.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. I like it. Like you said, Sean, I like doing a little bit of journalism, doing some writing. So interested to put some articles up there for you guys to read for your enjoyment. But yeah, the website turned out great. We have our new tagline: no rake, no fear, just winners. So that represents our games with no rake. And then the brackets. Everyone knows I love brackets, and so it's always nice to get to a bracket and navigate through the field. And for every time you knock somebody off, you're gonna get a little bonus pay. So super excited about that. They're filling really quick, just really excited moving forward. We worked really hard on this, and considering we started this basically September 4th, and
about that, yeah.
Now we're closing in on February 4th, and we've already gone this far. So we did a lot of work behind the scenes, a lot of late nights for you, Sean, I know, and it's coming to fruition right now, and we're really excited.
Yeah.
And I also want to thank to the TikTok crowd out there. You guys got us over followers, so we really appreciate it. And we're super excited.
Scott, you got to get this right, buddy. We are over 1,100 followers.
I'm sorry.
Not
1,100. It's going up so quick. It's going up so quick. It's hard to keep up.
So yeah, it's really, we appreciate you guys so much on TikTok for getting us there. And we were trying to get it set up. We just didn't quite get it ready in time for the show today. But starting next week, as long as everything goes through with us getting what we need to get it done, we should be able to launch our live show also on TikTok as well as YouTube. So we were very excited about that. And again, thank you guys so much for helping us get there so quickly. It's been a blast trying to get everything set up so we can make that happen. And you guys have been really, really instrumental on that. So we appreciate everything you guys have done for that. So yeah, man, that's pretty much everything on the website. But let's talk about these games for just a few minutes on our third down. We did this yesterday, last week, but I do want to do it again because I really want everybody to know these leagues are launching soon. I want to make sure they understand exactly how they work because it really is a cool setup. There's not a lot of, intricate moving pieces. You don't have to jump in here and talk about what you want to do with this or that or anything later on down the road. All you got to do is just draft it and then just watch the website and see how things roll. So the buy-ins are $5. They're 12-man Superflex 0.5 TEP best ball leagues. So they run through week 13 for the regular season. At the end of that week, at the end of week 13, first place will get $50. Second place will get $10. So that's the $60 buy-in from all 12 of the players. And then on top of that, the top 16 scoring teams of all the different leagues. We've got Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, all the way through. We can get as far as we can get into that military alphabet as we're going to go. And every one of those leagues, the top 16 scoring teams out of all of those leagues are going to get into the 16-team bracket. And it has, as you saw, $1,000 total being paid out. As you work your way through the bracket, you'll win more money. So it's really awesome setup. You guys don't have to do anything, just watch it. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about it here on the show all the time. We're going to be mentioning the guys that are at the top of the leaderboard. And, one of the good things also is you can join as many as you want. So you don't have to be just one guy in the bracket. You could be multiple teams in that bracket if you know what you're doing and you enter more than one league. So it's a cool setup, man. I'm really excited to see how it plays out. And we really hope that you guys are going to enjoy it as much as we are. Scotty, man, what do you think, man? How many do you think that we're going to fill coming up here? I mean, we've got 6 of them, basically, 1 or 2 people away from filling the first 6. We're going to launch the next 4. I think that we're going to be filling these 10 before the end of the week, and we're going to be launching consistently throughout the next 3 months. Give me a ballpark. Price is right. If you go over, you bust. Give me a ballpark number. How many leagues?
Well, I'm going to say, I'd love to have 100 of these things, but I'm going to say,
come on, give me 100, baby. Make it happen.
I'm going to set I'm just going to say a good round number for year one. I'll just say we'll go with 80.
80. Ooh, okay.
I know it might be a little aggressive, but we're gonna get there.
I like it. I was gonna go with the triple digits, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick with the 100, and I'm gonna make that my goal. And I want you guys to help me get there. Obviously, I need you to help me get there. Otherwise, we for sure ain't gonna do it. But let's get to that 100 and make that happen, guys. So 100 leagues between now and the beginning of the NFL draft. Well, they'll all end before that, so it'll be about a week before the draft starts, so that we give enough time for them to draft out. But yeah, that's what we're looking for. About 100 leagues. We'll say mid-April. By mid-April, we want 100 leagues between now and mid-April, and we need your help to do that.
Yes, we will push it.
Yeah, and you guys are going to. And who doesn't want free money, right? I mean, all you got to do is pay $5. You win all this extra money. It's amazing. It's fun, right? Who doesn't want that?
Exactly. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. All our games here at Sudden Death are all going to be bracket game forms. So they'll be really fun.
And make sure we have some sort of a bonus for you guys.
Yeah, there'll always be a bonus pot for you guys, and there'll be no, like Sean talked about, there's no strings attached. There's no, wagering or anything like that at the end. It's just going to be straight. Whatever you buy in, that's what you win. And then on top of it, you win bonus money that comes straight from our marketing budget right out of our pockets.
Yep. Yeah. Mr. Grimm is paying for you guys to have some fun with us, and we love it. So Shadows has a thing that he brought up. I know we're talking about the games, but I want to mention this too because it's a really cool little topic to talk about real quick. Saying Mike Evans is not coming back to Tampa, which I know that probably bothers you, right? Because you're a big Mike guy. But do you think that? So let me first foremost, you think he plays again, right? Do you think he wants to come back and go through the rigmarole of another season? He's an older player. He could potentially hang it up, and he's probably already in the Hall of Fame anyway, so I don't think he has to worry about that. But do you think that Mike does come back? If so, I think Buffalo's a great spot for him. Do you think that that's potentially like the ultimate spot? Really? I mean, can you think of any place better than Buffalo for him right now?
Not really, but I just don't know if Mike Evans is going to leave, though. I mean, he's been there forever. I mean,
Shadows don't lie, bro.
I know he doesn't. I know he doesn't lie, but I mean, going to Buffalo, is that any closer to a Super Bowl than if you were to stay in Tampa? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you guys couldn't get it done this year. Next year, you guys got two teams, you got the Jets and the Dolphins that are both.
If you have Josh Allen on your team, you have a better chance. Bottom line. Maybe if you had Patrick is the only way you could say that you'd have a better chance than with Josh. Otherwise, Josh Allen on your team, you have the best chance possible to go to the Super Bowl.
Is that new stadium? Is that indoors? Do they have a retractable?
No, we don't do. Are you kidding me?
Okay, so you're asking Mike Evans. Mike Evans that lives in sunny Florida to leave and go play in Buffalo where it's going to be just crazy cold in December. You know, why do you, and he's going to be 33, I think years old, or 30. Yeah, 33. I think he's going to be. I mean, why do you want to put your body through that?
Dude, Mike Evans is a beast, bro. And if he goes out there, he doesn't even have to run full speed. All he's got to do is just kind of jog his way out there. Josh will put the ball right where he needs it for him to just jump up there and Mike Evans it every single time. So if I'm Mike Evans, and I do leave Tampa, I'm not going anywhere except for like a Buffalo or a Kansas City or Cincinnati, like where one of those three top guys is. Otherwise, no, man. Maybe New England with Drake May if they like. Drake's coming on. I do really like Drake May as a quarterback, and I think he could potentially be a guy that you would want to play with if you're in a position like Mike. But
I definitely know he's not going to leave Tampa unless he goes to like that kind of a situation. So would it bother me? No, because I like Mike Evans as a player, so I want to see him win a Super Bowl. He's a guy that deserves a Super Bowl.
In Buffalo,
first ballot Hall of Famer. I really don't care who he gets it from. Where he goes and gets it.
Yes, you do. I mean, yes, you do. You want it in Buffalo.
If he ends up going to Buffalo, that's fine, but you better get it for him. You better get it for him.
Oh, Shadows, don't say that. He says, watch him go to the Raiders. I mean, come on, bro. Really? The Raiders? Like, don't do that to the poor guy. He's not coming here, man. Like, as much as Vegas might be enticing, Mike don't seem like the type of personality that makes that type of enticing a thing for him. So I feel like he's probably more about the family than he is about the gaming. So otherwise, man, I don't see any reason why he comes here. Ain't nothing out here for him. Yeah, and you don't want to play no rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
I know they got the money. It's true. I mean, if he gets paid, he gets paid, I guess, right? It worked for Devontae. Although they had Aaron, right, when they brought him, or what was it? Why did they bring Devontae here? Who was it that they had quarterback in here when they brought Devontae in? Because they brought in an older quarterback, didn't they? When they brought Devontae into the Raiders, and then it didn't work out. And O'Connell was playing, and who was it?
Was it Gino? What it was?
Was it Gino?
It had to be Gino.
Might have been Gino.
Yeah, it was Geno Smith.
Yeah, it might have been Gino when he was there in the beginning.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Either way, it did not work out good for him. Yeah. So I had poor Mike. Hopefully, he uses that as a litmus test and decides that he's not going to go ahead and put himself in that same position. But money does talk, man. Especially when you don't have a state tax out here and you're getting paid that big. That's a pretty hefty chunk of change you're keeping in your pocket.
Well, he's not getting no state tax in Tampa either. So
yeah, but he would be in Buffalo. And New York ain't pretty at all. New York is like not only is it a state tax, there's a high state tax.
Yeah, well, like I said, I wouldn't bother me if he went to Buffalo. I mean, if he had a chance to win a Super Bowl somewhere, like I said, big Mike Evans fan, I want to see him win a ring.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I like Mike Evans a lot too. So we're going to talk a little Super Bowl before we end the show here for you guys today. And like I said, if you guys haven't already gone to the website, check that out for everything that we talked about. That's going to be a great kind of melting pot spot for all the information that we have coming out for you guys. And also, if you haven't, please go like and subscribe to this channel. We really need subscriptions on this channel to keep things moving forward. You guys are doing great for us on TikTok. Come over here and do the best for us here too. Get you guys get some subscribers. We can get our super chat going. Our whole goal here is to get a super chat going soon so that we can start donating that, because that's always been our plan, is to donate any of our super chats to a worthy cause. So that's something that we really want to get going. In order to do that, 500 subscribers is the number. So help us get there and we can take that first step. You guys are great for everything you're doing. We do appreciate you. At Shadows especially, man, you throw in some great content for us. Shador Sanders, look at that. Shador Sanders has proved himself this year. That's so funny. I would say he didn't prove himself, other than the fact that he belongs on the sideline at worst, right? Like, he could hold a clipboard. That's about what you've proved so far, is that you're just as good as the guys on the sidelines. I wouldn't say that you've done anything more.
Well, he proved he was good by process of elimination.
Yeah, right. You just proved you were better than Dylan Gabriel. I mean, does that say a lot? Really? I don't know. Like,
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I'm still a Shador Sanders fan. I mean, I think he's going to be a capable quarterback in the NFL.
Capable, absolutely. I don't think he'd be a good starter. You know, I wouldn't be confident in him being my guy unless I had like a super good defense and all I needed him to do is dilfer his way around the season. But otherwise, I would not want him as like my guy. Not yet. Like, I don't have the confidence for that at all.
Yeah, he almost beat the Bills and beat the Bengals. Yeah, there. Give it to him, Shadows.
I mean, yeah, he did almost beat the Bills, but I mean, were they really playing as hard? Like, I felt like
here we go. Here we go. Did they really play?
Their whole worry about that game was not letting Myles Garrett get the sack record against them. That's all they cared about. Everything else was like, yeah, we're gonna win. We don't have to worry too much. We got Josh, so all we got to do is just keep him upright and make sure Myles doesn't get his record and dance all over our field. We'll be fine. And then that's what happened. And, you know, they still won the game.
I tell you what, you guys better win the Super Bowl next year. You guys have now that the Dolphins are even worse. You got two teams.
What are you talking about? We got the Patriots literally in the Super Bowl. That's in our division. It's not like it's a gimme that we're gonna have an easy division next year. Come on, dog. I mean, you've had the Bengals and the Steelers in their division every year for the last decade. Did you consider that a bad division because the Browns and the Bengals have always sucked?
The Patriots have a new coach and basically a whole new roster, and they make it to the Super Bowl before you guys.
What do you want from me, dude? Robert Kraft sold his soul to the devil long ago. We know that. It's obvious. You could tell by the way things have consistently played out in their favor, like divinely intervention-wise. I'm telling you, man, like, these guys are getting lucky beyond luck, dude. This is not luck anymore. It is legit. I think that he, in blood, wrote a little like article out for the devil, said, hey, hook me up with some Super Bowls and you can have my soul. And the devil's just kicking back and waiting to send Ghost Rider after his ass.
Yeah,
and actually, right now he's getting what he wants.
And this is a perfect guy. I totally agree with Shadows right here for Harold Fannin next year as a tight end that you can get late in your draft, because what do I always say? Young quarterbacks, they always gravitate towards their tight end. And he had a tremendous rookie season. And so, yeah, in your drafts, Harold.
It's not only that, though. Fannin is like a beast of a route runner.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like a wide receiver at the tight end position. I know you hear that a lot, but he's actually like that when the way he runs his routes and the way he like has got that kind of uncanny ability to separate. That's not something that everybody can do. You know, that's like a Travis Kelce type thing. He's great at George Kittle. They're, you know, those guys that are really good tight ends, they have this uncanny ability to separate. They're not the fastest, like, looking them. It's not like they should be running away from these guys, but they just use body lean and leverage and certain tricks to give themselves the separation they need. And Harold Fannin seems like he picked a lot of that up, like, right out the gate.
Yeah, so, and coming from a MAC school, because we went to Bowling Green, and everybody thinks, he's a MAC school player. How's he going to adjust to the NFL? And picked up the game really good, and he was playing on a bad team, and so towards the end of the year, defenses kind of had to kind of pay attention to him. So he'll be a tremendous value if people are sleeping on him next year. You should be able to get him pretty late in your home leagues.
Depending, you might, if you have the savvy players in there, they're going to keep an eye on a guy like him, but it depends, like if there's going to be, it's a real shortage of good tight ends, right? I mean, you got Trey McBride, right? You got George Kittle next year. You assume as long as he's healthy, he'll still be a good top tier tight end. And Kyle Pitts looked like he could be that guy as long as he
you got Bowers, Bowers,
Bowers,
so,
right?
and
then the two rooks, Loveland and why am I blanking on his name right now from the Colts? Warren. So you got those two guys. So I mean, you're looking at, I put him like probably in that 8 to 9 to 10 range is where I would probably put Fannin. If I had to like kind of like maybe in like right around the Dalton Kincaid, above Dalton, but below the guys that we mentioned already. So kind of like in that range right in there is where I'd have him, which would be for me like the perfect guy to target if you miss out on one of your top 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go either McBride and Bowers, and if I don't get them, I'm just gonna wait and I'll pick up 2 or 3, lower level guys like that. Like Tucker Kraft should slip a little bit.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna ask you where you would have Tucker Kraft at.
Yeah,
that's so funny. You must have read my mind.
Yeah, he'll be a guy you can get a little bit later. People might forget about a little bit. Just like what Shadow said, Fannin. So people might forget about him. You might be able to get him kind of late. So
yeah, that's the thing, man. These guys that got hurt, that especially the ones that got hurt kind of mid to early season, that have been out for a while, that people have kind of forgotten about, like they will go under the radar for a good while. And if you get in these early drafts right now that are happening, like the ones that we're doing, $5 best ball drafts that you can get into where you can win a piece of $1,000 bracket bonus, that is the type of league where you can steal these players really good, because people forget all about the ones that got hurt early in the season. And we know like a Tucker Kraft will be healthy and ready to roll beginning of the season next year. And to start the year, he was a top 3 tight end. Right. I mean, he was sitting way above guys like Bowers and so on and taken way ahead of him. So, Kraft is a guy you definitely want to keep an ear out for next season. Like you talked about, Kittle is a guy to keep an eye on if he comes back healthy in time.
Well, we talked about Kittle a few weeks ago, and I told you guys on this show, Jake Tonjans, watch out for him. And what did he do in the playoff game? He went ballistic in the playoff game. So he's a guy that perfect best ball guy. You'll be able to get him at the end of your draft. No one's going to draft him. He's probably going to play the first 4 or 5 games of the season until Kittle's healthy. And we want to get, as a fantasy owner, it's very important. You want to get off to a fast start in your leagues. You want to get to 4-0. You want to get to 5-1. So these are guys that are going to help you that you can grab, and it's like a Jake Tonjans or somebody that's filling in for an injured player that's going to make a later season debut. So you want to get a fast start, and these are guys that'll help you get to that early start.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because Shadow's talking about these tight ends and the rookies. And he's right, man. I mean, lately the rookie tight ends have been balling out, and it was a thing for years that the rookies took a while to ball out, and that they would never get drafted early in fantasy for that reason. And now, I mean, Bowers changed that. Bowers came out like a beast in his rookie season. Laporta came out like a beast in his rookie season. So a lot of these guys, man, their rookie seasons, they just come out and it's like they dominate right away. And that it's kind of making it to where that learning curve really isn't there anymore when it comes to tight ends. It feels like these young up and coming pass catching tight ends, they don't need to earn their way on the field by blocking well and doing all these other things that the tight ends feel like they used to have to do just to get on the field at the right time. They are like designing plays for these guys. They're drafting them with the intention of them being a part of the passing game immediately. And that's changing the flow of rookie tight ends in fantasy for sure. And especially when it comes to like so Bowers and McBride, right? You talked about them. If you take them early and you don't, wait for a guy like a Kraft or a Fannin or who, the guys we're talking about, then you put yourself in a position where you might not have the best RB2, right? Or the best wide receiver 3 or whatever the case may be there. That could be way more detrimental to you in the long run than passing on a McBride to get that position with a much better solid player and then go back for a Loveland, a Warren, a Kraft, down the road a ways. So, Fannin, for me, like that, I personally feel like the tight ends coming up the way they are in such a young path situation right now, that makes it to where those top guys are even less important for me to take. So I'll probably pass on a McBride and a Bowers, especially early in this draft season, more often than I did last year. Whereas last year I was like, I definitely wanted to try to get a guy if I could. Yeah,
well, I had plenty of shares of McBride, and I was able to get him at the end of the second, early third. But this year he won't be on my radar because he'll just go way too early. So
Yep.
it's going to be hard for me to invest that kind of.
Last year, I was taking Bowers in the late second, or stuff like that. Like I was fine, or early to late second. I was fine with that. Anywhere in the second, really. And then like McBride was around the third most of the time. So I'd take either one of them if they were there for me in those points, because I did think this year that was necessary. Well, then it played out to be the exact opposite, or so many dang good guys, and they didn't do that great anyway. So it was like not necessary for me to do that, which, now I feel like there's so much talent that I do feel confident in that's in that mid to lower tier. I don't need those top guys.
Yeah. And if you really want to like deep dive into it, like the junkies we are, is if you're looking for that tight end late in the draft, go to it, start looking at like offensive coordinators, that are like, let's say just pick a team, look at the offensive coordinator and see in their offense, the routes run for tight ends. How many routes do the tight ends run in that particular offensive scheme? And sometimes you'll be able to see, okay, this offensive scheme runs a lot of tight end routes. They have a move tight end on their team. I'm going to target this tight end late. And that's where you can find a lot of these gems, is because they're integrated into the offense because of the routes that they run. So It's not just about grabbing a player. If you grab a player that's highly rated, but he's in the wrong offense, that's going to be detrimental to your squad because he doesn't run enough routes. He doesn't get enough opportunities to score fantasy points for you.
It was Laporta after Ben Johnson left.
Correct.
That's exactly how that played out. And that's why you got to be careful and look at the offense, especially new head coaching or anything like that, or offensive coordinator got hired away or anything like that happened. Then you definitely need to verify what the new offense is going to be like before you consider that player to be the tier that he might be with the other previous offense. Laporta, Ben Johnson leaving totally killed Laporta. And then on the opposite end, if you look at it, Loveland was getting drafted way later than he should have been drafted because people weren't associating exactly what you said as much. They were looking at, they got Roma Dunze, they drafted Luther Burden, they got DJ Moore. Where's his targets going to come from? They got DeAndre Swift. So they're not going to utilize him, even though he's this, great talent, and they drafted him early and all that, yada, yada, yada. They won't use him like that in his rookie season because they have all these other targets, blah, 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 blah. Well, what ended up happening by the end of the season? Loveland was destroying things. And now he's going to be definitely a top 5 or a top 3 target for people next season. So, that's the kind of situation that you're talking about right there. We should have looked at that and said, Ben Johnson, yes, he is going to utilize that tight end. There's a reason they took him, right? We should have been that way about it, and we weren't. So those are the things you got to watch for, like you talked about. Mike LaFleur going to Arizona. What does that mean for Trey McBride? What's his offense like? Look at his history and see what his offense is like. I mean, you might even be able to associate his brother's offenses into how he might run it, because he's probably going to have a similar kind of coaching style to those guys, right? So, Tucker Kraft did great in Green Bay. Is that going to transfer to Arizona? Those are the things you want to check into with new coaching. The same exact reason that you're talking about is I also think the same reason that the Bills hired Joe Brady, because they didn't want to change things because they had personnel built around this offensive scheme. That's kind of what we're talking about, right? If the personnel fits the scheme, the player might be more valuable than you realize.
Yeah. But, and then Shadows brings up another good point. If Burrow leaves, God, could you imagine him in Arizona? So you got Marvin Harrison Jr. there, Trey McBride, and Michael Wilson.
That would feel like deja vu, right? For Carson Palmer, like going from Cincinnati over to Arizona. Like
that would be a pretty cool move, man. That'd be very, very interesting.
Right. That'd be very interesting. I mean, I would love it, because that's one less, superstar quarterback in the AFC that I got to worry about before the Super Bowl. So I'm okay with that as a Bills fan. But if they let Joe Burrow leave Cincinnati after what that franchise went through before they had a good quarterback like that, in between, like, what was Esiason, I think their last really good quarterback before Burrow that I can think of. I don't think they really had anybody great beyond that. So, you wait. Well, I guess Carson. I shouldn't say that. Carson Palmer was pretty good. So, Carson all the way to Joe Burrow, though, is still a long, long time. Mediocrity there. So, for that to be the case, to let the man like that walk, who is seemingly still in his prime, I don't know, man. And he has such a good rapport with your receivers, and you did all of that to keep him happy and blah, 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 blah. Like, to let him leave, oh, my Lord.
I could see Cincinnati doing that, though, for 2 reasons. One, Joe Burrow's been a little injury prone. And the second reason is when he comes up for his next contract, it's obviously he's going to want a boatload of money. And the Cincinnati Bengals is an organization that is cheap. And I could totally see them just saying, look, we're not going to pay this guy. He's might be a little past his prime. He gets a little bit injured. We can't pay everybody. And unless he takes a hometown discount, which I would be shocked if Joe Burrow took a hometown discount. If I'm Joe Burrow, I'd be intrigued to go into Arizona. You leave cold Cincinnati, you go to nice hot Arizona in the desert.
And you've got MHJ, who's got the same ability
as
Chase.
Yep. And so yes, and the Bidwells, they'll spend money. They're not really a cheap organization. So
and he says Hendrickson's leaving too, which is true. I mean, Hendrickson's probably going to be out. I would like to see them trade T. Higgins away too and use that money to rebuild that a little bit. I thought that was a stupid move for them to hang on to him. Not that he's a horrible player. I think he's a great player. I actually really wanted him to go to Buffalo, which I still would love if they traded him for him to come to Buffalo. I think he'd be great for us. But it's not him at all that I have the issue with. It's the money they gave him. It's the situation they were in that they should not have paid a wide receiver 2, because that's what he is in their offense, only because they have Jamar Chase, though. But either way, he is still your wide receiver 2, and you just can't overload one side of the ball with that much money.
No, it was a terrible move. And like I've always said before, that it seems like the state of Ohio just has, on the pro side, just bad owners.
It's got to be something in the water.
The Browns, the Bengals, they're terrible. So
right, Brian, it's got to be something in the water.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, they needed to spend that money on the defense and not tie it all up in one player. But
yeah, no, you're right, man. It's definitely that would be an intriguing situation for sure. Shadows. That was a really good topic to talk about there, and that'll be interesting to watch as the offseason goes along and how that kind of plays out on the T. Higgins front, Hendrickson front, and the Burrow front. All of that is question marks. So we're excited to see it anyways, because that adds some juice to an offseason that usually is like we're all just kind of like this waiting for football,
Yeah,
so
well, let's get into these. Let's get into this the big game then. Looks like we got our scores up there.
Speaking of football, baby, let's talk about this a little bit, Scotty. So this was our last week predictions, right? And mine's a little off center. I don't know why it is. It's just because it's right, I guess. I don't know. But that's our scores from the previous week that we said. I said it was going to be a 28-16 game. You said 24-21. We both picked the Seahawks. I want to talk about this one more time again. It's been a week. We've had some time to digest the matchup a little bit better, kind of get some feel for potential injury issues or anything like that. That might be it, which doesn't seem to be the case, thankfully, because always, no matter what teams are in, I always want to see a healthy Super Bowl. So the everything seems like it's going to be okay. Everybody's on track to play. Do you feel like your score has changed, or are you sticking with the exact same score?
Okay, so I have a small adjustment. I am going to change that score to Seahawks 27, Patriots 20. And if everything stays the same that I like, I'm going to take I'm going to take Seattle to cover the 4.5. I'm going to take the Seattle money line, and I'm going to take the over in this game.
Okay. So one more time, Seattle money line, the over,
and to cover the points. And so I'm going all in on Seattle.
All right. Are you actually placing this GPG parlay of the day?
It's not going to be. I'm not going to do a parlay. Just be individual.
So you're just gonna do each one individually. So if one hits and it still wins.
Yeah. I can kind of
no. Be a man about this. Don't sit here and throw out 3 different bets and then say you're gonna place them individually, dude. No, dude, man up and parlay it.
You can parlay it. Go ahead.
Dude, you should do is round robin that bad boy.
And then I should pick my MVP. So I already know I'm not gonna steal your thunder and take your MVP because I already know who you're gonna take. So I'll just go with I think for Seattle to win this game. Well, I think what's going to happen is I think the Patriots are going to say, look, we're not going to let Kenneth Walker beat us because he's capable of going, nuclear and scoring 3 touchdowns on us. So we're going to stack the box. We're going to stop Ken Walker, and we're going to force Sam Darnold to beat us. And I think if the Seahawks are going to win this game, Sam Darnold's going to have a pretty big day and throw for 3 touchdowns and have like a plus 300 yards.
Yeah, this honestly, Shadow, you are 100% right, and it's gone beyond that. I actually do think that Scott and Brian have set up a dinner date. I feel like Scott has decided that they're going to both
I'm not Rocky, okay? I'm not Rocky. I'm happily
they're both going
married.
to fly to DC
kids.
and meet in the middle so that they can go and have a nice little fun dinner date together and sit there and talk college football and hold each other's little hands and just gaze deeply into each other's eyes.
Well, I'm sure we'll be talking some basketball when March Madness comes along. So I won't not admit that.
When the moon hits your eye like a bigger pizza pie, that's amore.
For you, it'd be pumpkin pie.
Oh man. So Scott's changing it up, guys. He's going 20 Patriots, 27 Seahawks with his, parlay that's not a parlay that he's gonna play. And that's Scott's prediction. So he's made some changes, but he's still picking the Seahawks to win. And I think that means that now they're going to cover, whereas before they weren't going to cover in your previous prediction.
Yeah.
So
I think they covered.
So you're leaning a little bit more towards the Seahawks, like I was in the beginning. So I can understand that because you got it closer to my prediction. I'm not moving mine. I'm sticking with 28-16. I still think that's the way it's going to play out. I might be off a few points here and there, but I still think we're looking at a 2-touchdown, 14-0 start to this game, Seahawks. And I do think it will be Ken Walker who scores both those touchdowns. I think what you talked about them stopping Ken and trying to make that be a focal point, I just don't anticipate that. I think that they will still be able to run that ball with Ken, and Ken Walker will do exactly what you said and score some touchdowns on him. 3 to be exact sounded about right to me. So for me, I'm sticking with the 28-16. Ken Walker will be the MVP with 3 touchdowns. That's my hot take of the game. And if you want to place your bet on the anytime touchdown for Ken Walker, you can do that. You want to put your bet on the over. I'm sure he's probably sitting around like the 75 to 85 yard mark for his yardage. I'd probably go with the over for that because I think Ken Walker will get it. If it's in the 85, I wouldn't hate you for going under, but I think it'll go over. And, obviously Seahawks to cover as well. So that's where I'm at, man. I like it. I would parlay him if I was going to go and bet the game. I'm not going to do that. But if I would parlay him like a man. I wouldn't just bet one at a time like a big baby. But, that's just me.
I'm a disciplined investor, Sean. Disciplined investor.
Right, that's because you didn't grow up in Vegas, bro. I mean, you grow up out here, man. You go for broke, dude. It's pretty much in your blood.
Yeah, well, and another side note. So obviously, I'm a guy that gets suckered into buying squares. I never win, but I actually got some pretty good numbers. And if it's 7-0 Patriots at the end of the first quarter, I net 565. So
it's awesome.
So
you're gonna be buying dinner for Bri when you guys meet up.
I wouldn't go that far. Hey, I'm retired. I'm on a fixed income, so he's still working, so he can buy my dinner.
Take him to McDonald's. They got some good $5 combos right now.
Jeez.
Oh man, Shadows it says he's taking both Pats and Seahawks money line, so either way he wins. Look at that.
Yeah, see that? Why don't you make fun of him?
I was gonna say that's an even bigger baby move. At least he's gonna. But you know what? If the underdog wins, right, he still wins money in that scenario. Isn't that correct? Right? Like if you think about it. I love it, man. So that's how we rock it today, baby. I mean, I'm excited, Scotty, about this game. Honestly, I think I'm more excited about the drafting coming up at the end of the Super Bowl that we're gonna do. But we want to talk a little bit before we roll out of here, guys, that we are moving the show for the off season. It is going to move to Mondays. We're going to stay there. We're going to do that for a couple of reasons, but me and Scott really like the idea of getting a nice show kicked off on Monday. We're going to do it at 3:30 Eastern time, 6:30 Eastern time, 3:30 Pacific time. So it'll be right before the game. Basically, we're gonna go on a couple hours before the game starts on Mondays and stuff. So if we roll into next season and decide to keep the same schedule, we won't be interfering with the Monday Night Football game, and it'll be a lot of fun. We're gonna do that because we're gonna be doing some joint shows and stuff with DGen boys from time to time. They're on Tuesdays. We wanted to make sure that we kind of didn't overload our audience. If you guys were sharing audiences and going back and forth to both shows, we want to give you a chance to have a different content each day instead of having to watch us for 2 hours after you watch them for 2 hours. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that too. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a good time for me and Scott to move it to, and it's gonna allow us also to go into next week's show with a live draft. Dun, 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 dun. Our live draft is not going to be no fast draft. We're going to force everybody to pick in like 2 minutes and sit there and try to, rush through a whole draft and do all that. We're going to do a regular show with you guys. The draft's going to kick off at the morning of the show. A lot of the guys that are in this league, this is our Alpha 1 league. This is our VIP league for all of the content creators that we work with. And some of our, in-house guys like Cyborg and myself and Scott and some of our friends that we've been playing with for years are in there. And we got the DGen boys in there too. I can't not forget them. There's Chev and Addy in there too. It's gonna be some fun teams in there, and we're gonna draft that one Monday. Start that draft off, beginning the show, have our regular show, and check in on that draft throughout the day. On top of that, all the rest of the drafts will be going. So we'll probably pop in and check out how they're doing a little bit, and just kind of have a free flow, real enjoyable time with a draft show for next Monday. As well as, a little bit of breakdown, obviously, on what just happened in the Super Bowl the day before, because we all know we're going to be sitting at home hungover, calling into work, wanting to just digest some content while we're eating our leaves and drinking our waters to catch back up to real world. So, Scott, man, are you stoked about this on the draft? Let me ask before we go, one last question. What spot do you want to get in the draft,
Raul? I don't know. I really don't care. I always do good with that middle, like 4, 5, 6, like right there. Cause I think at that 4, 5, 6 with our format, I can land myself an elite quarterback, and then I can come back and I have, a choice of, either getting an elite running back, elite receiver, or I can just do what I always like to do and double tap that quarterback. So I always like that 4, 5, 6 spot.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, this year, I'm kind of leaning towards the back end, dude. I think I want 11 or 12 right now. I'd settle for 10, but I'd prefer 11 or 12. And I'd be happy with that back end turn right there, because I really think that there's going to be some players that drop in this draft and that back end that I'm going to get some top tier guys that normally would have been like 5, 6, right where you're going to be. So that is where I want, which means I will probably get the first pick overall. Because that's how the draws work. Whatever you want is not what you get.
Well, then you can go ahead and take Josh Allen.
I mean, if it happens, that's probably what I'll do, just because, I'm not going to, not take him and take a Drake, May. Yeah, right. I'm taking Josh, baby.
Yeah, no, I think Josh is the.
Yeah, you got to take Josh.
Number one.
Bestball for sure, too. So you got to take him, especially since Joe Brady's still there and now he's going to get some better receivers and this and that. I think Josh is the guy.
Yeah. And so before we let you go, I want to answer one more question that Shadow's our breaking news guy. I love this guy. Just always breaking news. But real quick, please like and subscribe to the podcast. We want to try to monetize, because once we monetize, it opens us up for a lot more things going forward, bigger bonus pots going forward. So really got to get that monetization. So please like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Get them to come on over, subscribe, play our games. Everybody likes.
Have your significant other subscribe. Even if they don't watch fantasy, just have them subscribe anyway. Grab their phone one day, just pop it on.
Drive them up. But Shadow said breaking: Vikings passing game coordinator, tight ends coach Brian. I'm terrible at last names. Is close to an agreement on a deal that would make him the offensive.
No. You have to read it.
Steelers.
What's his name again?
Well, I'm going to break it down into Angelicho.
I love it. I love it. I would have said Angelicchio or Angelicio.
Angelicio.
Is that right? Angelicio? I don't know. I have a bad Italian accent attempt right there, so please don't hate me for that. But yeah,
Angelicio. Well, you know what, Shadows? I think anything would be better than Farty Smith. So, you know.
yeah, true that, right? I'm sure whoever gets hired for that role is going to be welcomed with open arms by that fan base. That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. But no.
Oh man. Well, guys, we really appreciate you guys. We're going to get out of here. We really appreciate y'all sticking around with us today. If you haven't already signed up for the draft, please do. Like I said, there will be links to the games in the website here tomorrow. So keep an eye out there, or you feel free to DM me and Scott on Sleeper, and we'll send you over to the hub if you're not there already. And get in some games. We're going to be launching 7 through 10 out of our first group of Alpha leagues. Those will be launching here tomorrow during the day. So we'll have those available in those leagues in the League Hub. And you guys could join anytime you want. So drafting starts Monday.
Yep. And don't forget, we will be launching some Dynasty leagues. Our friend Ken Moore is going to handle the Dynasty leagues for us. If some of you people that know Ken in the Dynasty world, he goes by the Dealers back on Sleeper. He's a guy that's had a spreadsheet that had at one point almost 400 leagues he was in. So he's a very experienced Dynasty player, and he will be running our Dynasty leagues going forward. So we're going to launch on like 5, I think the 5 at once.
Yeah, we're going to start with the first 5s and kind of launch those and get those ones going. And then we'll look to see how those go and go from there. We're Dynasty leagues. They don't ever stop. They keep going. We want to make sure that we have the opportunity to launch, startups more often than not. So we don't want to like overload season 1 with a ton of new Dynasty leagues right away. But we might launch another 5 maybe or so for the season if things are looking good. We'll see how it goes and go from there. There is an Empire style bonus pot that's available on those Dynasty leagues. Also, guys, like we talk about, always a bonus pot, never a rake. So you're getting a bonus pot on that one as well. That's kind of an Empire style, extra 250 if you go back-to-back champ. If you win 3 in a row, you get an extra 500 on top of your normal $400 for winning that league. So those are some fun little tidbits on that. We're going to have information added to the website for that tomorrow also. So you'll have all that information available to you, and the leagues, if not tomorrow, by Thursday, we should have the actual leagues available for you guys to start signing up. So we're excited, man. I mean, things are moving light speed at this point. We're launching these leagues. We're getting these things filled. The website's done. We're part of the FSGA now. That's really exciting for us too. We haven't started working on that yet, but now starting tomorrow, we'll be able to get more into that too. And there's just so much fun things coming right now that we're working on. And season's right around the corner, which is the draft season, I should say, right around the corner. So yeah, man. Other than that, brother, I am really, really excited to get moving forward, and I'm super stoked to have you here with us and all you guys in the audience, man. We thank every one of you guys for being here today, and Scotty, I thank you for being here today too, my friend.
All right, thank you again, Sean, for all the hard work you've been doing ever since we started this, and it'll be a great partnership going forward. We're really happy for the 2026 season, but we cannot do it without you guys. You guys make the engine turn. You guys make us want to do this every day. So really appreciate it. So all we ask out of you is just a like and subscribe. Check out our TikTok page too. Go and give us a follow on the TikTok page too.
Please do, man. I mean, jump on that TikTok train. Everybody's doing it right now. It's been great. Thanks a lot, guys. Happy anniversary again, Mom and Dad. Love you, Grandma. Thank you guys again for showing up. We are out of here.